السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Should you do a prenup agreement? First of all, what is a prenup agreement? Well, it's a legal document in a country they reside, most likely a non-Muslim country, where the wealth of the husband and the wife is protected in case of divorce. Now, why is this important to talk about? Why is it an important subject? Because so many brothers and sisters get divorced. Divorce now is about 52% in our community. And so many of them end up with losing their hard-earned wealth. Now, I know what sisters might think. Brothers, that's what you want to do. You want to protect your wealth. Actually, sister, you jumped the horse. The reality is that in the West, it's both brothers and sisters. There's been plenty of men who have taken the hard-earned wealth or the wealth of the family of a sister who maybe she inherited that money from her father. And because of the law of the country, he thought he was smart. He used the law of the country and he was able to get her half of her wealth that he has no right to. So let's not jump to, okay, it's about this gender or that gender. Actually, this subject and today's video covers both genders. That's why it's important. Now, why am I talking about this? Because not many people are talking about this subject, and it is a very important subject to be discussed. The problems that it creates, if it's not addressed, are huge, and how many brothers and sisters have suffered in the Western countries. They lost their money. Not only have they lost their spouse, they lost their money, they lost their jobs, they lost everything just because they're not smart. Well, you see, in Islam, your money is your money, and that's it. His money is money, her money is her money, her money is not his money. This silly videos that we see around there, your money is your money and her money is your money. These are silly videos about people who have no clue about the Sharia, it seems. Because no, your money is not, it's not his money, and his money is not your money. Everyone's got their own money. And he takes from his money and he spends on you. You don't have access to all his money to take it as you please and do what you want. Nor does he have access to your money to take it as he please and do what he wants with it. And how many men cheat women when it comes to money? And how many women have destroyed the lives of men and cheated men when it comes to their hard-earned money? Sadly, this is what happens in a legal system that is not watertight and people can play around. And it's an unfair system. Islam is fair. The rules of the Sharia are fair. However, for those who live in non-Muslim countries, we know that they can play the game of, okay, I'll do an Islamic nikah, but I will do a non-Muslim divorce. Why? Because it suits me. In the Islamic nikah, especially for sisters, well, they get to receive the mahr and gifts and all kinds of things, and the man has to pay for everything. However, in the case of a divorce, she gets a certain nafaqah or spending for the iddah. If he has kids, he will pay some money for the kids, of course, because those are her kids, till they reach adulthood and they stand on their feet. But she doesn't have access to his money. She doesn't just take his hard-earned money. She goes back to her father and her male relatives and whoever, and they will take care of her. Of course, there's more details. What if they don't have this? What if they don't? I know. We're talking here about just the basic default marriage, right? Which most people fall under. So, a prenup is an agreement. It is a contract. It is an aqd. If you look, for example, funny that a lot of da'is, they'll say that, no, this is not good. Why? You don't trust and this and that. But those same people, when it comes to women putting the condition that no second marriage in the nikah, they jump to be like, yes, women should do this because they should protect themselves. Well, guess what? Men can also do that because they should protect themselves and their wealth, hard-earned money. Their whole life they spent money, tuition fees to go to university, they've gone through a lot of stress, write exams, and finally they make money. And all of a sudden the sister comes and says, well, I want khula, I want this, I want that. But she'll do it through the non-Muslim court because she knows she can take half of his wealth. And she'll punish him to teach him a lesson. How dare you? act with me like this or like that. How many cases we've had like this, you cannot even imagine. So indeed, it is something that is important, and it should be done and can be done because it's a contract. If we follow the opinion of the ulama, great ulama, who have discussed that, okay, you can make contracts within the contract of nikah. You can make points. Some say, we know that there's opinions also that say no. But right now, we're not looking at the details. We're talking about in general. It is an agreement. Can you make an agreement, especially in a non-Muslim country that does not protect your rights whatsoever according to Sharia? Well, yes, you can. Or yes, you can. And in the worst case scenario, there'll be a difference of opinion. But huge scholars would be supporting the point that yes, you can make an agreement within the aqd of the nikah. Okay, so that's something that is very, very important. So I want you to think about that, because you're in a situation in the West where no one really protects you, no one really cares about you, no one really wants to think about the Sharia, they consider Sharia backwards, but the Sharia is light. It protects the woman and it protects the man. It gives fairness to the woman, it gives fairness to the man. So if you're planning to get married, then there's no harm in doing so to avoid the possibility of half of your wealth being taken away from you. Be you a woman or a man. And you should not think bad of the other person if he comes up with this idea. Specifically sisters, interestingly enough, again, they love to push the scholars and to raise them on a pedestal, those who say that you should put in the contract that you should not marry a second wife. But if the man even dares to say, hey, how about we sign a prenup contract? They will flip out and they'll say, oh, you don't trust me. You're not going to do this. You're not going to... Well, the same thing a man can say to the woman when she invokes putting in the contract that he will not get another wife. He can say, well, you don't trust me. Why should we put it in? Do you see the double standard? So, of course, we need to vet properly. We need to make sure that the woman or the man that we're marrying are good people. But I need you to understand the concept. The concept is solid. You can do it. I would even say that when you're vetting someone, that if they are so against it, even after you explain to them that it protects both of you, her and you, she might have money from her father, from her family, whatever. You can go after so many people. You can go after her family if it is, according to these rules these days. It protects her. It might even indicate that maybe this woman might not be the right person for you. Right? If people don't want to do it, hey, it's up to them. But I'm giving you an opportunity here to protect yourself, both of you, men and women. Not only the men, but women as well. My brothers and sisters, if you want to ensure that you find someone who's genuine, you want to marry, start a family who share the same Islamic principles as you, please check out the link in the description and learn more about the marriage vetting blueprint that I've developed for you. And take care of yourself. Marriage is not a joke today. You need to make sure that you marry the right person. Not only will you get your heart broken if you don't, but you'll get your bank account broken. You might get your family's bank account broken. Because of course, your family's not going to leave you. Probably going to have to step in and spend money for you. For what the other person, maybe they just spent a couple months with you, less than a year, and now they're claiming half of your wealth. Be you a woman or a man? I don't want the sisters now in the comments to just be like, oh, it's all about men. It's about men and women. Look around you. Look in the societies that you live. Look at the laws. It gives men and women the right to take your money away. So think about, speak to a scholar who has knowledge of understanding of rules and regulations and laws and can apply and put in a prenup for you if that is something that you believe it will help you. I definitely believe it can definitely help you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you and bless you. Check out the link again for a marriage vetting blueprint to make sure you have a solid system in choosing your life partner. Barakallahu fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.